Good morning. Good morning. Wake up and all that other good shit. It's time for Burning Early. Burning Early. Burning Early. Your weekly cannabis news show with Phace, 1/3 of the partners. What's going on with y'all? Y'all doing today? So, today we're going to talk stocks, how edibles are great, new news in the cannabis industry, my top 3 smokers of all times, which is debatable. Y'all can debate if you choose, go to the comments. But I got my own top 3. And if we have time, my first time smoking marijuana. So let's get into it. This week, the top highs for stocks, we had Canopy Growth ending at $7.12. We had Intercure ending at $6.45. We had Aurora Cannabis ending at $3.78. OGI with $1.48, and Sundial Growers at 51 cents. And that's your stocks for this week with cannabis. Now let's move on to edibles. Edibles are great. We also know that edibles are substitute for smoking, vaping, and other good ways to get cannabis in your system. Right now I'm seeing a growth in, how can I say, edible users. People are switching from smoking to using edibles, and there's a lot of benefits in doing so. We're going to go through some of the top benefits today. We're not going to go into a deep in discussion with edibles versus smoking, because we all know I'm a smoker, and regardless of how edibles are great, I'm a classical smoker. I like the therapeutic process, as I said on episode 1, and that's just that. So let's get into edibles, man. Why edibles are great. Let's go. Let's see. First of all, edibles are easy to make and easy to take, man. You can make them at home with your own marijuana. If you grow at home, you can make your own edibles at home too. So you can have your own in-home process. You don't have to go outside for anything anymore. But you got to get your recipes. There's a lot of mess ups, and people make mistakes when trying to make their own edibles at home. Sometimes they make them too potent, not potent enough. Try a couple times. You're gonna come to, sometimes you make mistakes, but it's your own process. It's your own food. You're gonna eat it, so try it, make it. Make your mistakes, but you get to the point where you know what you like, you know what combinations you're making. So make your own edibles. If you don't want to make your own edibles, they offer them in different stores too. Right now we got edible CBD, edibles for Delta 9, edible Delta 8, and your classic edibles. You can find some Delta 8 and THC edibles at your classic vapor stores and vape shop and glass hedge stores. But you can find your real edibles with straight THC Delta 9. You can go to your dispensaries. Right now in DC they have those available as well. Most states that have marijuana that is legal have a wide array of edibles. Now another benefit of edibles, they come in different flavors and a different variety of things. You can get edible gummies, you can get edible breath strips, you can get edible fruit. There's all different types of stuff. They're infusing food with cannabis now. There's actual show on, forgot the actual channel, I think it's the Vice channel. They used to have a cooking show, an edible cooking show, where they showed you different processes of infusing the food with cannabis oils. Use the cannabis leaves, use the whole plant actually, because the whole plant is beneficial when cooking. That was one of my favorite shows when I had that channel. I don't have that channel anymore, so I'm missing my cooking shows. But you can also go to Netflix. They also have some cooking shows with marijuana on Netflix if you're interested in finding some ways of making your own recipes at home. Now, with edibles, they're way more discreet than flower. I can eat an edible right now, go for the rest of the day, and no one would ever know. It has no smell to it, so you get away from that marijuana or cannabis smell that is so pungent, and that as soon as you walk into a room, people know that you've either been around marijuana or you're a marijuana consumer. Me personally, I have no problem with that, because that's my personal cologne. It's Cannabis for men. I love the word. So and once again, I'm a smoker, but edibles are great as well. Edibles in these COVID times, they offer a shareable cannabis experience. As we discussed previously, I don't smoke with other people because we are in cannabis. So every time I smoke or intake cannabis, I'm doing it by myself. But cannabis and marijuana is a shareable experience. It brings people together. It's like a collective community experience at times. Share your edibles. If you have a friend, y'all taking a ride together, you doing something, you got your wife, you got your significant other, both of y'all pop an edible. experience it together. Edibles also offer a longer lasting high, but with that, they take longer to enact. The reason for that is the different process that we put into our body. The process that you use towards smoking is inhalation. It goes into your body, into your bloodstream quicker. When you're ingesting marijuana, it has to go through your stomach to your liver and then into your bloodstream. So that's what the hiccup in the process is. So on average, 35 to 45 minutes after you ingest the edible, then you start seeing the effects. But once again, being there are pre-dosage, watch out for that, because some people, when taking the edibles, if they don't feel effects quicker, they'll take another edible on top of that. Then what will happen is when the effects take in, you have 2 times the effects that you may not be prepared for, and also your high will last that much longer. So be patient when taking edibles, because the effects do take longer than smoking. But that's one of the reasons why I smoke, man. I know what I want, what I'm looking for, when I want it, so I'm always a smoker. Edibles, if I gotta take a road trip and I can't afford to be around other people smoking, I'll do an edible. At this point in time, I don't smoke around my family. Why would I? But my wife, I normally would smoke around my wife, but at this point in time, I can't. So it's edibles around her, and I still get my same experience, and I don't infringe on what she doesn't want around her. So it's always a way to get around things when you still want to do what you want to do. With edibles, it's slightly more costly than flower, but you get a little bit, how can I explain it? Edibles going to cost you a little bit more, but you get a little bit more bang for your buck than your flower. An average ounce for flower right now is running between 100 and 200 some dollars, depending on the strand you want and where you get it from. Edibles, you can get a 30 pack of gummies of edibles for around $35 to $45, and you can that can be anywhere from 50 milligrams to 350 milligrams a piece. So you're looking at a good potency for a good little price. The thing that gets people is they don't know the potency, or they don't know if it's going to work, so they don't want to put their money out. Sometimes in life you got to try some different things, so put that little bit of dollars out to get what you want and try a new experience. I say if you're a cannabis connoisseur and you have not tried edibles yet, go ahead and try edible. You don't want to do it by yourself? Cool, get a friend, try edible with a friend. It's a good experience, man. I've tried the edible breath strips, I've tried the edible gummies, and I've tried the edible brownies. All good experiences, but nothing to me beats the experience of flower. Let's move on. News in the cannabis industry this week. We got some good things happening this past week. Good things happening in different states. First, let's talk about DC. If you are 65 years or older in DC and you are a cannabis connoisseur, starting this week and very soon, you will no longer have to go to a doctor to get that clearance. You can now self-register yourself as a cannabis user, and you can identify your use as strictly medicinal and no longer need a doctor's approval for that. This means no more medicinal cards for 65 and older users, which is great, because you don't have anyone standing in your way. I feel like you're at the age of retirement. You shouldn't have no one standing in your way to do what the hell you want. You at that age, you done put your time in doing what everybody else wanted. Now it's your time to relax and do what the hell you want to. You shouldn't need nobody telling you, well, you need to do this. Give all rights to the people. Now, 65 and older, y'all got those rights. Now I'm looking for those same rights to trickle down to everyone closer to my own age range, the late 30s, early 40s, and up. We need that same thing, because I should not have to go to the doctor to tell them why I want to use cannabis, because it's grown naturally here on earth. It's a natural flower. I don't have to go tell a doctor why I want to drink dandelion tea, so why should I have to go tell a doctor why I want to drink or take marijuana or cannabis? I drink cannabis tea. It's very good for you. So I shouldn't have to ask the doctor for that. I'm really hoping in Virginia, once again, they pass this bill, so September we can go ahead and do what we had to do as adults, and we can have the same privileges as these 65 and olders in DC. Moving on, this week the first national hemp report came out. Glad for that. Now in this report, it gives information on the demographics of the growers, the yield numbers by the state, pricing, and other agricultural information. This is going to be a good report to keep your eyes on if you're an investor. If you just want to get more information on growing, the growth cycle, when is it good to grow, what states you may want to invest in, get land in if you're just looking on wide scale growing or something like that. If you want to start your business small, still look at this book. It's going to be a key book going forward for cannabis people, cannabis connoisseurs who want to get into the lane of business and growth. Like I said, there's a good market coming open. Get in where you fit in. If you have land now and you own land, use a portion of your land to grow marijuana. Like I said, right now, it's going to be a cash crop. Anything worth doing is going to take time and going to be hard and difficult to do. And getting in the industry, it's going to be a little difficult now, but it's going to pay off for you. Get your information on this National Hemp Report so you can start growing and getting your information and start educating yourselves as well. Education is key in business. If you want to go anywhere and make a lot of money, you got to have the smarts to know how to do it, man. Please educate yourselves. Lastly, on cannabis news, in Kentucky, Democrats have finally introduced a bill to legalize cannabis for adults and also expunge all misdemeanor offenses. Me personally, I feel that they should have included the felony offenses for cannabis as well, because it's still cannabis. As long as it's a non-violent crime, I feel like any cannabis charge should be expunged, man. If it's going to be legal, there's no reason to still have a charge for a substance that's legal. During the Prohibition era, we went through the same type of things with alcohol. This is just the Prohibition era for cannabis. We're coming out of it finally. I feel like all charges, regardless of what level, should be expunged if they're marijuana related and non-violent. I personally had a charge back in the day. Mine wasn't expunged because of a new law. My time just lapsed and I was able to get it off my record, whatever. We young, we all make mistakes. We all move stupidly when we don't have the right education. But life lessons give you the education you need. Here locally in Virginia, cannabis news. As I drive around, I'm starting to see more growers, which is good, because it's definitely good. I live in a place where I see a lot of tobacco farms, a lot of tobacco growers, but I'm starting to see cannabis starting to be grown as well too. So more props to your farmers out here. I'm glad to see you, diversifying your crops. Keep going. You're only gonna bring yourself more money. I've heard from the farmers I live around and just people in the tobacco industry that they've been having a tough time with the weather and how the crops are going and the taxes and different things like that. If it is true, because I don't know it myself because I'm not a farmer, but if it is true, diversifying what you grow will definitely help you. Having more than one thing to bank your buck on, it's always good. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, as my mother and my grandma used to tell me. If you got more than one thing to rely on, you got more avenues and money to come in. Always diversify your streams of revenue. Now, moving on from news, we're going to talk about my top 3 cannabis connoisseurs of all time. I want to start off number 1 with Bob Marley. Of course, all praises, Bob Marley, influential man. Not only with his music, influential in politics as well. He tried to do some good things in this country. Unfortunately, I would say he died too early, but no man knows his time, and I personally believe God don't make no mistakes. So, hey, while he was here, he did great things for his people, but he also did great things for the cannabis culture as well. Still today, people who don't even know what he stood for smoke cannabis and wear Bob Marley shirts. They rocking it for one thing, but we know it means something else, but we still believe in support. And I thank Bob Marley for all he did for the culture and for the people as well. Now, my number 2 top smoker of all time, they go in this order. I'm going Willie Nelson. Classic, man. We've been seeing Willie smoke for years and years and decades and decades and decades and decades and decades. And Willie still, man, smoking it up. I think Willie Nelson's still alive. Don't get me wrong, I don't know, but alive or dead, he's my number 2 top smoker. Number 3, Uncle Snoop Dogg. He's made smoking, he's normalized cannabis smoking, man. Everywhere you see Uncle Snoop, he's smoking. I don't care what show it's on, who he's with. He's gotten Martha Stewart to smoke. So if anybody's influential in today's time with cannabis, it's gonna be Snoop Dogg. I believe he's one of the people that helped change the stigma, on cannabis all around. I feel like today in 2022 without Snoop Dogg and what he's done as far as cannabis and as far as pushing the limits, as far as where you can go and what you can do. I don't think we would be as far as we are right now in legislation without people like him pushing those boundaries. He's not in my top 3, but he's up there in my top. I say he's my top 10. I say Wiz Khalifa. He's like a Snoop Dogg Jr. with his smoking and where he wants to go and what he wants to do. He know what he wants to do, where he wants to go, and I believe we should be all entitled to it. And we're doing it to ourselves. We're smoking. We're not forcing other people to smoke. So hey, let us do what we want to do. And guys like Snoop, Bob Marley, Willie Nelson, like I mentioned, Wiz Khalifa, they push those boundaries to normalize the intake of cannabis wherever you go. And once again, they're not forcing nobody else on it. It's not a drug that they're not offering. But one thing it is, they have their rights. They protect their rights, and they show us nothing wrong with what they're doing. For so long, cannabis had a bad stigma on it, but when you see moguls doing it, it makes it, how can I say, it makes it better. And it looks a lot better to the masses. But when it's demonized and damned and everyone's saying it's this, and then you got movies like Reefer Madness coming out back in the day, it looks like real, stay away from this substance, it's going to drive you crazy. But no, it relaxes you. It brings you to peace. Like I said, I have anger problems at times. It keeps me mellow, keeps me calm, keeps me at a state of homeostasis. That's where I like to be. I like to be in my calm, easy state. I suffer with anxiety, PTSD, a lot of childhood trauma. Smoking cannabis helps me control my thoughts, helps me get to a place where I'm not running rampant, I'm not mad at random stuff, and I got past traumas triggering stuff in the days. It keeps me where I need to be at. Called self-medication. Okay, what you call it? It works for me. I could either go and pay a doctor thousands of dollars for them to tell me to take this pill and I still have the same problems, or I can go have a chit chat with somebody at a cannabis dispensary, buy what I need, and relax on my own, and still have my thoughts processed on my own time as I want to deal with them. I prefer that. So thank you to my top 3 smokers to helping normalize cannabis and help push forward the cannabis culture. Once again, Bob Marley, Willie Nelson, Snoop Dogg, and honorable mention Wiz Khalifa. Now, since I do have time, I'm going to try to tell a story about the first time I ever smoked cannabis. Now, this story takes place like almost 2 decades ago to the day. I believe, well, 2 decades plus. I'm 39, so I believe I started smoking, if I remember correctly, at around 16 or 17 years old. My little brother and my little god brother had been smoking marijuana before me. And I was always the one. No, I was always looked at the quiet, calm one, the safe one. No, I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna stay away from this. No, but I was smoking cigarettes back then and drinking alcohol. Started young. Let me stop this story to say I do not promote anybody that's under 18, under 21, smoking marijuana, drinking alcohol, doing any of these things. These things should be done when you're an adult and you have an adult mind to make an adult decision. I wasn't, so let's go back to my story. So, it's a day, I believe it's, don't know the actual day, but I'm gonna say a Friday because we normally had practice for praise dance at church, I believe on Wednesdays and Fridays. So I'm gonna just say today was a Friday. Got out of school. Normally didn't chill with the so-called cool guys or the so-called street guys. Normally I was known, but I was known by everybody just because I was a quiet kid, but I was a cool kid. You feel me? So I was known but not known. I didn't normally chill with these guys, but they knew me. So it was one day I was invited. Hey man, you need a ride? I lived around the same neighborhood. I was like, yeah man, I'm gonna hop in the car. I hopped in the car with Debo. We just call him Debo from now. So I hopped in the car with Debo. We went around 3rd Ave and Ettrick. Anybody who watching this, y'all from Ettrick, y'all remember where the old 3rd Ave was. It's no longer there. Virginia State has totally taken over. So how we remember it growing up is no longer there. So I was on 3rd Ave and I was at, let's see. I was at Martin's house, Martin V. I was at his house. It was like 6 or 7 of us. It was me, Debo, Martin, rest in peace, Q, and a few other guys. Because I was really high that day, so I don't remember everybody. But those faces I do remember. So it started out cool. We chilling on the back porch. Everybody just chilling, smoking cigarettes. Somebody started rolling weed. At this point, I'm nervous. I'm looking like, okay, I don't want to look like the punk. I don't want to look like the non-cool guy. But I also don't want to just get into something I don't know nothing about either. Because I always believe in putting stuff in your body that you know something about. But once again, at this point, I'm still a teenager, late teen, 16, 17, but I'm still not an adult enough to make adult conscious decisions. So, start smoking with them. I have a cigarette, so the first L come around. I'm smoking because I know how to smoke now because I've been smoking cigarettes. I'm just inhaling it. First time I didn't cough. That second, third time, big ass cough. Everybody laughing, but you know you try to play it cool like, yeah, I'm a big man, I can take this. So, unbeknownst to me, I look up. Now, as I'm coughing, other blunts have started coming into the cipher. Now, I look up. Now, it's like 7 people in the room. Everybody got a blunt and it's passing around. Now, I don't have no weed because I don't know where to buy weed from or how to roll weed because, once again, I don't smoke weed at this time. So, I'm still hitting the blunts with everybody. I say probably like 30, 40 minutes done gone by. To me, it seems like 2 or 3 hours, but it's only 30, 40 minutes. Smoking. I believe I have 2 blunts in my hand right now, and I'm smoking. I passed 2 because they're not all going in the same direction, which always confused me. Cypher blunts going the same damn direction. So I passed them in a go. I'm chilling because the blunts have a couple minutes before they come back to me. So now I'm realizing, damn, I think I'm high, or what people say they high. Not knowing, but all these thoughts are in my head. But they sound extra fucking loud, like I'm saying them out loud. So I'm looking around at everybody in there to make sure anybody looking at me like I'm talking. But this conversation going on in my head loud as shit, like I'm talking out loud. But ain't nobody looking at me, so I'm like, I'm cool. So I started licking my lips because my lips getting dry. Now, I didn't know nothing about cottonmouth back then because, once again, I don't smoke marijuana. So, lips getting dry, I'm like, damn. I'm thinking to myself, damn, my lips dry as shit. I wish I had something to drink. And the whole time I'm licking my lips now, I'm licking the inside of my teeth like, ooh, this is trying to feel good. I got some nice teeth. My teeth clean as shit. Okay. Go Phace. So then I started licking the inside of the top of my mouth. Doing that for like 2 seconds. I'm like, hold up. Something don't feel right. I stopped feeling my tongue. So I'm starting to go crazy in my own mind. Like, oh shit, my tongue has floated the fuck off, and I don't know what my tongue is. So I'm looking around, and people looking at me like, what the fuck I'm looking at? So Debo like, man, you alright? I'm like, yeah, I think so. And then while I'm talking, I feel my tongue. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm good. Start smoking again. Now while I'm tripping, these motherfuckers done rolled up more goddamn blunts. I'm not prepared for this. I'm not ready for this because this is my first time smoking. And I got somewhere to be after this. They don't know, but I know. So I say I hit another 2 or 3 blunts. It's getting to like, I say, mid-afternoon. So it's right around 4. I say it's like 4:30, almost 5 o'clock. I'm like, yo, I got to go, bro. Like, Debo, can you take me to my brother's house? Now, Tiz, as we all know, is my brother. He's at the house with me. He is at the house now. He's not with me. Normally, we always together, but he's at home. So I get Debo to drop me at my brother's house. This whole time I'm in the car, it's like, it's the longest fucking car ride. But my brother only lives 5 minutes from where I was at. So I'm like, damn, I done passed out in the car because I'm so fucking high. Debo wakes me up like, yo, we here, bro. We here. I get out the car, and it seems like everything I'm saying is low as hell to me, but extra loud to everyone else. It seems like I'm screaming to everybody else, but to me, I'm whispering. So I get to my brother's house. I don't know, but his mother is looking at me through the window. She yells back at your brother, go get Phace. He on the porch high as shit. I don't know. I look high because I've never been high. So I don't know what to do to not look high. So I'm knocking on the door, my head leaning on the door. I'm breathing heavy. Hello? Hello? I don't know how loud I am. My brother comes to the door geeking at me, laughing like shit. I'm like, hey, bro, how you doing? Stumbling through the house. Gotta be respectful. I go past mama's room. I think she's out there in her room on the dining room watching TV right now. She looks at me. She's like, baby, you all right? I'm like, yes. She started laughing. I go in the room and lay down. I say like 10 minutes later, I remember, damn, we got someplace to go. But mama ain't going with us. It's just me and my brother. We have to go to praise dance practice in like 10 minutes. And I'm dumb high. So a ride comes. At this point, me and my brother not driving. Our homeboy Chris is driving. So Chris drives. And at this point, Chris drives a 2-seater Z with a big ass system in the back. So he has 2 seats for 3 people. I'm like, fuck it. I'm high as shit. I get in the back. I lay on the damn speaker. Like, man, you sure? I can make space. Nah, bro, we ain't got time. Let me get in the back. So, high as shit, they let me get in the back seat on top of these speakers, and we were driving to church with the system on, and my whole body just vibrating with the damn car to the system. And that's what it is. It don't bother me because it vibrates my black ass to sleep. Now, we get to church, I say like 20 minutes later. Now, I'm no good. I'm no good to nobody once we get to church. I'm stumbling and bumbling. They having praise dance practice upstairs. I'm downstairs laying on the couch, knocked out sleep. People keep coming up and downstairs checking on me. I'm telling them, my brother told me I don't feel good. I don't smell like weed at this point, so you can't say I smoke weed. You just know what I look like. So we played the I don't feel good shit off for as long as we could, till the people our age start figuring out, oh, this motherfucker just had shit. It came to church praise dance practice. Yeah, I did, damn it. Once again, I was 16, 17. Decision I chose to make. I wouldn't choose to make that decision again, but hey, we all got life lessons. Praise dance ended. Got back in this little 2-seater Z, hopped my high ass on back of those speakers again, vibrated my ass back to sleep. Woke up, we was at my brother's house, and that was my first experience smoking cannabis. Can't say it straightened me away. Can't say it brought me back in, because I say for the next 2 or 3 years, I didn't smoke cannabis like real heavy. I smoked it occasionally, sparingly with my brother. But once I got to college, I was a full cannabis connoisseur, and have not stopped since then. This has been Blunt and Early. Excuse me. I mean, burnt and early. You can see I'm high as hell now. So once again, this has been Burnt and Early, Episode 2, your weekly cannabis news show with 1/3 of partners Phace. Before I go, once again, always check out rtradeclothing.com. That's rtradeclothing.com. It's the only place you can get any partners merchandise and all AC83 merchandise as well. It's ARTRE clothing.com. Save 15% when you use the promo code PODSQUAD83. That's PODSQUAD83 in all caps. And also, don't forget to check out the Partners Podcast every week on Anchor.fm. You can also find us on Spotify and YouTube as well. Once again, the Partners Podcast on Anchor.fm, Spotify, and we're also on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe. This has been Burnt and Early. Phace. Holla at me next time. Peace out.